now I can hear you. All's good.
Okay, good. I don't know what happened. I pressed record and it just like went to hell. So anyway, so happy to have you here finally. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'd like to introduce you to my cat.
Oh, nice. What's his name?
That's Juliet.
Juliet. Oh, her name. That's nice. I'm kind of allergic to cats, so I cannot have them. So you have your home studio. I see you have your own home studio in.
This is where I put my demos together and work every day. And I've got another room back there where I do my video lessons for my school.
Oh, nice. And the CD you recorded here, or you just recorded somewhere else?
Say it again.
The new CD you recorded here, or you went to another studio?
I did that at a different studio.
In a studio. Okay.
Because I played drums. I don't really have.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have room for drums here.
But that's great. Let me see.
It was really fun playing drums.
One question I wanted to ask about the CD was that you play everything, right? No,
yeah.
Even bass.
I didn't know if I could, but I thought I'll try, and I started playing drums, and it was so much fun.
Yeah,
I played drums a lot before. Like with Mr. Big, I used to play drums on the encore song. Yeah. We would all switch instruments, and so I think I got some better technique from actually playing in like real venues and having to play with a loud band.
I saw you with Mr. Big, and I kind of remember that seeing you play some spot of drums, but in this CD the drums you play are not easy. I mean, there's a lot of tunes that you have a lot of changes, like rhythmic changes and kind of progressive fusion stuff, and you play great.
It was so much fun. I think whenever I play these songs live and I get a real drummer, he's gonna have such a great time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the drum parts were really fun to play.
Well, he might go like, I don't know how he plays that.
I played it, so I only know single stroke. I can't do any fancy double stroke, so it's all just.
Yeah, but you get a good sound, and I was pretty amazed about the drum parts because some tunes are not easy at all. I mean.
Yeah, it's not just bo to da to bo to da. But I really had a good time. I've been playing drums since I was a kid. Whenever I would join a band, sometimes we would rehearse at my house, and so the drummer would leave their drum set at my house, and then they would leave, and then I'd spend all day playing on their kit.
Wow, that's nice. And did you manage to record the whole songs playing the drums, or you have to do like many overdubs or by parts? How did
the main thing we would do with I did a lot more overdubs with guitar.
Oh yeah.
With drums, there's no wrong notes. So as long as you play it, if you hit this tom tom or that tom tom, doesn't really matter. But with guitar, most of the time, and plus the guitar parts are actually a lot harder. Like
I can tell. Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think of any song I made it the whole way through. The one song that I kind of did like in one take was the kind of the bluesy one. Like was it? I can't remember it now, but you would not be able to handle what I handle every day. That was kind of one take. But a lot of the stuff I had to take section by section, especially.
I think the repertoire is kind of hard, yeah.
Because for example, the argument about Pi, I knew the melody, But then when it got to the second verse, I wanted to play it differently, so I had to work out. How did I do it? I did all these sliding things. I played it like once, and I haven't played it since then. So I actually have to learn the songs You know, I probably know them on drums better than I do guitar, because you know,
I sure.
Drums I had to practice and get it in one take. Where guitar, I'd go like, okay, let's just work on this chorus, get it right, and then we'll forget about it and do the next chorus. And so the guitar is much more pieced together, where the drums tended to be like a whole take.
Okay, I think you played a lot of slide in this CD, right? I didn't know you used to play that much.
Well, because it's instrumental, the slide gives me a voice. Yeah. So you know, I mean, I can play a melody without it. You know? And it's all right, but somehow with the slide has a different. It just has there's a different character to it. So it's really nice, since I don't have a singer. It's really nice to have another way of making my guitar sound really different than it would. So it almost sounds like there's two guitar players.
Oh, that's nice. And you used to use it with the standard tuning, or you also try like different alternative tunings for slide, more common,
or say it again?
Do you, when you play slide, you play on a standard tuning, or you just go?
Yeah, well, I have the magnet. I put a little magnet on the guitar, so that way it holds it on there, and I can really quickly switch between the two.
Okay.
So if I'm going, you know. So it's I can go back and forth super fast. Okay. And of course I have to learn how to play with standard tuning. But most of it's just that open G, and you just learn, you know. The thing is, I haven't learned any guitar slide licks. I haven't studied Duane Allman or you know, any of the slide people. I've learned all vocal parts. So like the slide parts I learned is like Janis Joplin, Mercedes Benz, like. So I just work on all vocals.
That sounds impressive.
And it's so much fun, because you know that's way higher than I can sing. And you know, learn like David Lee Roth, Van Halen parts, and Dio. You know, having like what's it? So you know. Trying to where I can sing on the guitar, whether it be the fingers or the slide, but they have a little different character.
Well, but that's great, because maybe if you studied a lot of typical licks for slide, you wouldn't sound so much.
Yeah, I don't know any, you know, all the great Derek Trucks and Duane Allman. I don't know any of that.
but that gives your personality, which is cool, because you just, you know, it's your style, so it's great.
Well, I've always wanted to be a singer, and my voice is okay, but it's I don't have much of a range. I can't hit high notes, and in rock, you know, the singers tend to sing really high. So if I want to, you know, like, you know, you hear who's one of the high, like Geddy Lee from Rush. You know, we were doing on my last tour, we did Fly By Night. And it's going, why joy no? You know, that's too high for me. So I'm doing the, and I could get it all on slide. So suddenly it opens up the door for melodies that I could never get with my voice.
Yeah, he's playing very difficult parts, because Rush music is like very difficult.
Also, just playing melody is so interesting, because I was kind of trained as a scale player. You know, and you know, anybody who's watched my instructional videos, it's all like scale stuff. You know,
yeah, I saw that.
that sort of thing. And it's really hard to play melodies with that kind of style.
Yes.
Because most melodies are much more like for example, like a really good one is you know the Three Dog Night song, Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. That's a great melody. And that's very different than, you know, playing the scale. It's and I love it. You know, I've always when I became a music fan when I was a kid, it wasn't because I wanted to listen to guitars, because I liked the singer. You know, so it finally allows me to sort of join the instrument that I'm best at with the thing that I like to listen to.
But I think that's great. That's great, because I think that the best way of doing a melody is singing it. And I read that you always compose singing it. And I think, actually, don't want to do a criticism, but I think that's because I'm a guitar player too. And I think most guitar players, many times we forget to compose singing, and we tend too much to look for melodies with the guitar. And I think it's a mistake. I think if you write a song that you can sing, it's gonna be much better, probably.
Well, I was fortunate. Like back in around 2007, I was on the G3 tour with Joe Satriani, and Joe's, you know, one of the masters of playing melody on guitar.
Yeah,
and I actually I wasn't really into, like, I at that time I wanted to like burn up the fretboard more, and I really thought that melody was more of the job of the singer. But when I heard Joe do it, I was like, man, that sounds great. And so I started to, in my own music, I started to get into it a little bit more. I remember the album I came up with after that, Silence Followed by a Deafening Roar, had a song, I can't remember how it goes now. It's called I Cannot Tell a Lie. And that was one of my first like songs with a guitar melody. You know, before that I was always doing like a riff. I still like having riffs, but you know, to be able to have melodies is amazing. And like you said, like for when I write songs now, most of the songs I start with a lyric. Like well, I mean, the song "Argument About Pie." I had
the single.
You know, you can never get in an argument about pie. You can never get in an argument about pie. From a major chord, drop your shield and sword. Yeah, you'd really have to try. And that tone of voice, you know, I don't have, I'm not a, my voice isn't good for that high note. But when I go, you know, you know, I can just get, you know, effortless sustain and get the high notes, and it feels so good to really get a melody out the right way.
I think you should record another version with a singer from this song. That would be great.
You know, the
or an version or something different.
Yeah, Freddie Nelson, who I did a record with, he would sing that great. I should get him to sing a vocal version of that, because he'd be killer on it.
Like a bonus track for the next album or something like that.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I gotta. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think this song is great, and I also felt I wrote some notes. Like the second song, "My Goodness," is a song. When I heard that, there's a part of the melody that I was like, wow, it seems like I know this song from something. Like it was a famous song. So I guess it's your song, but I was imagining that with the voice, and I was like, wow, that could be a great hit, like a commercial, you know.
Oh, yeah. Again, that's based on a vocal. I think that was in G. I think. My goodness me, saying things that I never thought I'd see. Now why? My goodness. and that's it's funny. Most of these songs I really only played them once on guitar, so I got to go back and learn them.
But you see, usually that part you say like my goodness. Usually a guitar player would not. It's like it's more like a singer's phrase than a guitarist for me. Like when I hear it.
It's funny because when you get in the mindset of like a guitar player who's gone to school, you tend to like think your brain goes into scale mode, and the thing that singers do is they repeat notes.
Yes,
it's like such a simple thing. You have like when I was younger, so much younger. That's all one note. But as a guitar player, we were like, and we don't just go, but it sounds great. And then when you do move, it's more dramatic. And so a lot of times when I'm teaching, I say like, you can play a note more than once before you leave. You can stay there a while. It's okay.
Actually, I think saxophone players they study a lot to play the same note with two different combinations of fingerings, and they work a lot in the solos.
You get different tones out of it, or of course, and then long and short,
Yeah, but what I was going to ask is that I think most guitar players, we don't spend time with that, and maybe we should spend more time of what you were doing now.
When you copy a singer, those things are everywhere. It's like it's just really common. But if you play scales on guitar, it like never happens. So it's
I know.
it's very healthy to get into the singer world a little bit.
Yes, actually, before some other things, I was wondering about the video you did from Argument about Pi. I saw the drawings, the drawings, and this is just a personal question because I saw you have like the drummer. He has like the P symbol, and I designed this P symbol myself. I have it in one of my guitars here. You can tell like in the neck.
Oh wow, that's killer.
My last name's initial are P. So I was wondering, what's about that P symbol? Is just for any reason or just?
Well, it's in America we pronounce it pi.
It's called a pi. Okay. I thought it was pronounced P. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, so in Europe it must be P. So
yeah. I didn't even thought about that. So it was like, why there's like a pi?
Only Americans will get the pun.
I usually think of P because pie is like the cake. So okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. Sorry for that.
But I like that. That's a cool necklace.
Yeah. I mean, I just I designed it, and it's like, one day I decided to put it in the guitar. So and I wanted to ask you about the CD. I think you got the title from the Warren Zevon song, "Werewolves in London." Is that possible? I read it.
Because the Warren Zevon song, and of course, London is a very famous city in the world. Portland is like, I mean, lately it's been famous, but I wish it wasn't. And but yeah, initially I just had the idea to have, and with the slide. So it's a simple thing, but it's funny. Sometimes things like a slide or a whammy bar, I like the simple things. Like on my vibrato album, I had a song called "Enemies in Jail," and I had the simplest whammy bar lick. I was like, and that's the simplest, dumbest thing, but it's wonderful.
Yeah, but it works. If it works, it's
and with a slide just to go, it's simple, but it feels good. And you know, it sounds like howling. And also, I used a like a fuzz octave pedal, so I get some pretty cool like feedback, and you know, it's a. I think the tone is pretty interesting.
Actually, yes, actually, I thought that in some parts of the CD you can tell that it's raw. I think in some spots you can hear the wah noise from the wah, and I was like, wow, that's cool. You know?
Well, I think I've got time for one more question because I gotta go to my 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Just one more question. Well, then I would like you to ask you: are you planning on going on tour with this album? Any chances you come to Europe to play?
Well, of course, it all depends on COVID. If you know, if the world opens up and we can travel again, I'd love to. You know,
any plans with Mr. Big also? You have with Mr. Big, you're gonna do something or?
No, Mr. Big plans at the moment. You know, if anything, I mean, the first thing I really have planned is a guitar camp in Long Island, New York, in July, and I hope that happens. You know, well, again, this sort of all depends on, you know, how the
thing works.
Flu.
Let's hope.
In the meantime, I've been really fortunate to have my online guitar school at Artist Works, because that's been great. That's been going stronger than ever the whole time. And of course, you know, the idea of playing everything myself, I wouldn't have, you know, my plan was to have a full band live in the studio, but you know, because of COVID, I changed my plan, and you know, it turned out really, if nothing else, I had the best time playing drums. That was so much fun.
Okay, well, thanks so much for the interview. I wish you the best and congratulations for this album. I think it's great, and hope you can play it everywhere. And
fantastic. Thank you so much. Sorry about the sound thing.
Or it's, you know, computers. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.